Hit record. Good morning, guys. It is August 15th already. I can't even believe that. It's kind of crazy as we go through. So let me go ahead and pull up our PowerPoint for the day. Our team call today is going to focus really on social media. This entire month, I really want to hit the social media train. I think it's something that, I've been in the business for over a year, about, 15 months. No, not that long, 14 months. And I can honestly say that social media is something that's always changing. And it's always constant, but it's always changing too. But it's also something that I think we constantly need to reevaluate because since it is constantly changing, we have to be changing with it because our whole business is based on social media. So today I've been diving into the book Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. I really recommend this book for you guys. I can't tell you hey, go buy this book, but I highly recommend it to you. And the tagline for the book is telling your story in a noisy social media world, because it's really noisy, but it's also social media. That's why businesses all are on social media. Your hairdresser, your Lowe's is on social media. Every big corporation is on social media, and it's because it's the easiest way to reach millions of people at a time. And that's the truth of the matter. But there's so many different people trying to do what we're doing on social media. This is going to teach you how to do it effectively and not be annoying in the process. And I know that's something that we all worry about when we first become coaches. So our topic today, it's literally just a chapter from this book. It's the third chapter of the book, and the chapter is called The Characteristics of Great Content and Compelling Stories. This is we're going to break this down, and next week we're going to be covering how to tell our story via Facebook, and the next week how to tell your story on Instagram. We're going to hit different social media avenues. Not telling you have to use all those avenues, but we're going to start with Facebook because we're all on there right now. So first, before we get going, just a couple of announcements. First up, our team calendar. Hold on, let me get rid of something here. Sorry, slide's a little bigger. Okay, our team calendar. There's one change to this that I want you guys to be aware of, and it's right here. If you're in my New Coach Basics group that started on the 10th, started on Monday, we are going to have some calls on Sunday evenings. I know that that's hard for you guys at 8 p.m. They'll all be recorded just like these calls are on Saturday mornings. So if you can't be on live, don't sweat it. Just catch the recording. But those New Coach Basics calls are going to be geared more toward what we're covering in your Coach Basics. So bring your questions about what you have for the week, those types of things to that call. And we'll be there to help you. Likewise, if you are a coach in that Coach Basics group who has a coach, so if you're not the new coach in the group, feel free to hop onto those calls. You can always learn something. You'll be able to look at that call as a leader perspective, not necessarily as a student perspective, so that whenever you're running your own Coach Basics, you know how to do these types of calls and you can learn how to do it. Another change to the calendar, I didn't write it on here, but on the 24th, just be aware, we have our 5-day sneak peek starting up. So I know we're going into this week, so start jabbing. We'll learn about that today. Some coaching opportunities, so you can have some people in our 5-day sneak peek to what is coaching group kicking off on the 24th. Also on the 24th, I'm going to be doing a 3-day refresh group. Anybody is more than welcome to have a challenger in that. It's going to be 30 days. The main focus is going to be 3-day refresh, 30 days of clean eating, and then they'll be using their 30-day free subscription to On Demand for their workouts so that they get with their challenge pack. So I shared my post for how I kind of jabbed people for that, and I'll be jabbing people throughout this whole week, all with clean eating, feeling bloated, those types of things to get them hooked when I throw my right hook on Sunday night on the 23rd for my right hook for inviting them into my 3-day refresh. I also created a Facebook event, which I'll share with you guys here. I'm actually going to show it to you right now. I got this idea from Jacqueline Crow. She's a coach on Legacy. She's one of my success partners. I have 4 success partners. Just so you guys know. So you hear me talk about my success partners. I have 4. But she's one of my success partners, and she did a great thing. She went to Summit, and she went to Summit at Success Club 2. So you guys know Summit was the middle of July. She went to Summit at Success Club 2. She ended July at Success Club 11, and it is August 15th, and she's at Success Club 12. So she had a great month from the middle of the month to the middle of the month. And she hit Success Club. Summit flipped a switch for her, and this was the strategy that she used because I'm constantly the student. I asked her, Jacqueline, what did you do? It's working. It's doing fantastic. She created a Facebook event. So let me pull that up for you guys so you can see what I'm doing for my 3-day refresh group. You're more than welcome to do something like this. I encourage you to. I uploaded her document into Classically Fit that she put together for how she did it for size, how she ran her event for size. And I'm pretty much doing exactly what she's doing. And it's a really effective way to invite people without being really pushy because they decide if they want more information or not right away. They decide if they want more information and then they just come to your event and they get the information from your event. So here's my 3-day refresh group. In the comments that I shared with you guys with Jacqueline's template, I gave you this banner, but without me. So you can go into PicMonkey and you can put yourself in there. I gave a great description for it. And if you guys want invited to this, let me know. If you want to do your own, just on the side, you can do your own and you can do exactly what I do. Just let me know. Put a great description of what it's going to be. And as you can see, I have 14 people going. And those are 14 people that I'm messaging with more information. Those aren't confirmed. I have had one purchase already. Last night, she bought a challenge pack. I've had one of my old discount coaches say, I need a recharge. I'm going to do the 3-day refresh. I think this sounds perfect. Great way to build volume. I only posted my results so far. Today, this whole week, I will be putting information in there. Nothing salesy, no price tags, just explaining to them what I would explain to them if we were having a personal conversation on Facebook. So I'm going to talk to them about what the 3-day refresh is, what the 30-day group is going to entail, crockpot recipes, quick, easy meals, meal plans. I'm also going to be talking to them about what Shakeology is, because Shakeology comes with their challenge pack, how we're going to be incorporating workouts into their challenge group with a 30-day free subscription. The focus of this group is going to be on eating, on diet, not on working out. That's an optional component, but I want them to know that the option is there with their 30-day free subscription on demand, because that's really important for them to have there. Okay. So that's my plan for this month. So far, it's going very well. I have lots of people interested, and this may not be something I do all the time, but I think it's a good way to do something different, just to constantly be changing it up. So feel free if you want in on this event. So if you want me to add you to this event so you can be a part of it and you can kind of run your own thing, please let me know. And I will invite you to the event so that you can do it too for yourself. I mean, I think it's one of those things that I was struggling to hit Success Club last night. I was sitting at 3. Thank goodness I got to 5, and I'll get to 10. I'll get to my goals this month. I was having a really hard time pushing this month, and this was a nice way to change it up a little bit. So if you're having a hard time with it, you can do this. And you don't have to do this with the 3-day refresh. I chose this because it's on sale. If you want to do this with size, because you love size, and you would rather do a size group, or you want to do this for our group that kicks off, later in the month, do it for size. Do it for anything. And likewise, for people interested in a great workout program, the size Kickstart is on sale this month too. So you can always go that direction with things as well. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. The information is in Classically Fit if you want to look it over. Jacqueline's document is really great. She really breaks it down for you step by step with examples of how she messaged people to get them interested. And it's always good to learn new tactics to do things. Do you guys have any questions about the event or how to do it at all? All right, we'll go right back to our team call. So that's what I'm thinking for this month, but we'll go right back to just going through our team call here. Like I said, our August promotions, size challenge pack, size kickstart, 3-day refresh. For new coaches, size kickstart is just the size workout program coupled with a 3-day refresh. So that's what it is. It's normally $205. It's $180 this month. And they have that same type of thing for 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme PIO. They have that same kickstart challenge pack, and it just couples the program with a 3-day refresh in there too. Our announcements. I know these probably, they don't change all month because they're important, but there is a little bit of a change, so I want to share with you guys. Make sure you're familiarizing yourself with the Beachbody Performance line. If you're a brand new coach, don't feel like you got to be an expert in everything. I'm not an expert in the performance line by any means. Shakeology boosts. Make sure you at least know what they are. Know what you're, so if somebody asks you a question, you're not like a deer in a headlight, because people can tell that even on Facebook Messenger if you don't know what the heck you're talking about. So make sure you familiarize yourself with this stuff. A big announcement is BOD. It's now available on a Roku device through an app, Amazon Fire TV, and Chromecast. And I saw on Autumn's page yesterday that they now have it so you don't have to like log in every single time you use it. Like on Netflix, so you can just continually just get on Netflix on your device. You don't have to log in and out every time. That's how BOD is now too. You don't have to, you're logged in for your entire 30 days. Also, they've started to put exclusive workouts on there now that are only available on BOD. I know Autumn, Carl, and Sagi did some great workouts on there, and they were like 7 minutes long, guys. 7 minutes, 10 minutes. It was like a burpee burner and stability ball exercise. So check those out, because those are little jabs. Those are things that you can share on your page that are telling people about BOD, but you're not annoying them because you're not asking them to buy anything. Okay. That's something you can focus on. Also, there's an updated 21-day fixed food list. It's updated. It's just added to. This is in our files in Classically Fit. Carol Ann uploaded that for us. It's also in your Coach Breaking News. It's just a little bit more variety. Really and truly, I looked at it and I was like, well, yeah, of course cheddar cheese goes in there and mozzarella cheese goes in there instead of just cheese. You know, so it's one of those things where it's like, she just made it more expansive, because I think she was getting a lot of questions about like, well, it doesn't say that I could have Munster cheese. Is that a blue container? It's like, yes, it's dairy, it's cheese, you're fine. So it's just is more expansive. So just take a look at that so you know. And that's also what I'll be uploading to our challenge groups as well, with in our photo albums as we go through. Also, this was really cool. I saw this graphic. Missy posted this in her team page, and I thought this was fantastic because I'm looking at my pantry right now. I have like 8 bags of unopened Shakeology between my husband and I over the past year. I mean, usually we're fine because he drinks it every day too, but he goes away for a month and then comes home for a month, and then goes away for a month, and then comes home for a month. So we have quite the stockpile of Shakeology. So well, this is what I recommend you guys doing if you're kind of in this similar situation, or this is why you're hesitant to sign up your spouse because you don't want a whole bunch of Shakeology in your household. There are different options for you. The option that I started with was on Matt's account, I got the triple combo packet of flavors. So I could try some different Shakeology recipes. I could put Shakeology recipes on my blog for different flavors because I could try them. I could play with it. That was the first thing I did. Also, I'm able to then, with potentials who are really skeptical about Shakeology, and I don't do this for everybody. I only do this for people who I trust and who I, don't mind, giving them a bag of or a packet of Shakeology. I'll ship out some Shakeology to them for them to try with the recipe. That's something. You can also have a packets available to, the main reason was to get my blog posts up so that I could have different flavors of Shakeology on there. So you can always have one of them be the triple combo packet, vegan if you want to try vegan, all those different things. For myself next month, well, mainly for Matt. Matt's not a coffee drinker. He works like 14-hour days and he's exhausted by like 6 p.m. So I got him some of the boost to put in his Shakeology every morning. We don't need any help with digestive, so I just doubled up on Power Greens and Focused Energy, which I think they each have 20 servings in them. So we need more than that for a month. So I just doubled up on it, and that's how he's getting his HD every single month instead of Shakeology. It'll give us a little break on Shakeology. It'll let us try something new, and I will be talking about his progress using the Power Greens on my page and the Focus Energy, because I don't want to take something else to my OBGYN to get approved while I'm pregnant. It's pretty much just laziness on my end. I only have a few more weeks. So that's another way you can get your HD in, because remember, one of the qualifications for leads is that you need, of many qualifications, is you need to have 90 PV of something on HD. Now that HD doesn't have to be Shakeology. Shakeology is the easy one because it is 90 PV, but there can be different combinations of things. So this is a great way to get that is with your boosts. If you want to try the performance line, this is also a way you can get your PV as well. All right. So just something for you to consider as you go through and as you're building your business and you have a stockpile of Shakeology in your pantry, as I do. All right. Okay, Team Cup this month. Everybody, I think, on this call is on a Team Cup team as I'm looking. Amanda, are you on a Cup team? Just give me no, you're not. Oh, that's right, because you signed up right after registration. And that's okay, because there'll be other opportunities for Team Cup, I promise. Team Cup is going on right now. So pretty much the logistics of Team Cup. Everybody's working together to earn points for prizes. So your points are broken down that each Success Club point you earn, that equals 1 Team Cup point. So like Liesel, you're at Success Club 9. So you contributed 9 points to your Cup team right now because those are your Success Club points. Each rank advancement is 1 team point. So it's not just your personal rank advance. If you have a coach who rank advances during Cup month, you get a point and your coach gets a point. Okay? So that's something to consider too. Each boost or performance sold to a new Challenge Pack customer, you would get another 1 Team Cup point there as well. So that's only for new customers. So if you have, like, for example, I had somebody buy the Refresh Challenge Pack last night. I could, if she was interested in a booster performance and she purchased something, I would get a Team Cup point for her purchase. Okay? Each individual coach can only contribute 35 points to your total points for your team. So here's the prizes. You don't get this prize unless you hit Success Club 5 or 10, unless you hit Success Club 5 with 7 Success Club points or Success Club 10. You see, there's little stipulations there. So if your team is killing it, but you only got 1 point to contribute to your team, you don't get any prizes. Only the people who hit Success Club get the prizes. So everybody should be aiming for at least this tier 1 prize. So everybody needs to hit Success Club 5. There's 5 people on your team, so that's 25 points. If you sell 3 challenge packs, that puts you at Success Club 6. Well, there's your 30 points right there. You all get your selfie stick. Okay? So really, I want you to think about what you need to do and what you need to contribute to your team to make sure you guys get some prizes this month. Because who doesn't want, I mean, I'm not a big fan of a selfie stick, but it's something. I mean, I would love to get some new clothes for free on Beachbody's time. So there's all kinds of different things there to motivate you to keep you going. All right? So if you have questions on Team Cup, talk to whoever's on your team. If you're your team leader, you don't have to be the team leader to kind of rally up your team and be like, hey, what are your goals this month? Let's get things going. If you're not sure who's on your team, let me know. I think I have a list of everybody who has on a Cup team. And if you want more information, here's the FAQ number for all the breakdowns of Team Cup. Okay, here's our leaderboard. Liesel, you're still rocking it out. Success Club 9. Way to go. I finally got 5 last night. I always put mine up there just to kind of let you guys see where I'm at for the month. So you can know, like, I'm having a slow month. You guys know if you've been on my team, usually I'm good by this time of the month. I'm set. I'm having a slow month here. Heather Knapp is at 4. Allison Payton, brand new coach at Success Club 4. Lindsay's at 2. Deborah 2. McKenna 2. Katie Brown is at 2. Dawn's at 2. Kelly Karati's at 2. Melissa Robbins at 2. Danielle Jones at 2. And Amy Effler's at 1. We're all close, as you can see. We all have points on the board pretty much. But we just have to get it to that point where it's like, oh, let's get those prizes. Let's get some things done. And let's change some lives. Let's get our challenge groups filled out, okay? So it's not too late to do that. It's never too late. It's the 15th of the month. The month's only halfway over. We have lots of time to hit the Success Club, pedal to the metal, keep going, sending out your invites, all those things. Because remember, what you do now in your business, you're not going to see the results from until 2 weeks from now. So you can't really start pushing for Success Club 2 weeks from now because you'll have a great September. Okay? But it's not going to help you in August. So you have to be inviting now. You have to be doing your vital behaviors now, consistently, in order to have success now. Okay? So any questions about announcements before we kind of get going into our team call? I'm constantly checking the chat bar here if you guys are typing anything. Okay, we're good. At least I think we're good because, okay, yes, chat wasn't coming up on that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead right into our kind of our meat of our call today. And like I said, this is from Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. And his whole concept is how to tell your story in social media. And I have been, and don't feel like you guys have to take notes. Would you guys like me to post these slides to the group? I can post these slides to the group if you guys want to look at them. The characteristics of his book is pretty much how to tell your story. And I've heard every top coach mention this at some point. Melanie Mitro has mentioned this. book during when she does calls about how to tell your story in social media. I listened to a call show with Megan Ewaldson, who's currently number 3 in the company, and she's been in the business for 2.5 years. She just had a baby, and she's number 3 in the company. I listened to her yesterday, and her whole call for an hour was on this: jab, 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 right hook. She did a national wake-up call not too long ago on jab, 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 right hook. Katie Ersta swears by this book, jab, 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 right hook, and we all know how compelling the storyteller Katie Ersta is. So I've heard so many great coaches talk about this book, and I had it on my nightstand, and I was like, I'm diving into it, and I'm so glad that I did. It really lays the groundwork for sharing a non-annoying social media site. Okay? Because I think as new coaches, especially, even coaches now, we get to a point where we don't want to be annoying. We don't want to annoy people. We don't want to be that crazy person on Facebook that literally has people like running from you on social media, ignoring you, blocking you. We don't want to be that person. We want to be that person who people appreciate because we add value to their lives. So first off and foremost, what is a jab and what is a right hook? That's his whole premise of his book. So these are just quoted right from his book, guys. The jab is the lightweight pieces of content that benefit your customers by making them laugh, snicker, ponder, play a game, feel appreciated, or escape. It's the story. It's the setup. It represents what is valuable to the consumer. Okay. A jab would be something like my motivation that I share every single morning on my page. You're not asking them for anything. You are seriously just giving them something to ponder. Okay. Giving them something to escape. Posting a really funny meme on your page that really makes you laugh. It's going to make them laugh. It's going to make them snicker. You're adding value to their life a little bit. It's lightweight. It's a jab. It's valuable to them. Then your right hook. These are your calls to action that benefit your business. Your all call. All right. That's the sale. It's the knockout. It represents what's valuable to you, not to your consumer. All right. Because remember, when you're a network marketer, your goal first and foremost is to have people buy your products, right? Yes, we're storytellers and we help people, but that's the main goal, is for them to buy a challenge pack, right? Be in our challenge group. So you need to represent what's valuable to them with your right hook in the sale. But if you haven't jabbed them enough, if you haven't given them ways to trust you, this right hook is going to be ignored. And if you're throwing a whole bunch of right hooks instead of a lot of jabs, you're not going to be taken seriously. Okay? So I want you to think about your page for a second. Have I been right hooking all week because I'm not at Success Club yet? Or have I been constantly jabbing, adding value, giving them the story, giving them something that's going to benefit their lives? Or am I giving them something that is just going to benefit me, the sale? Okay? So just ponder about your own Facebook page for a second. So that's the difference between a jab and a right hook. So social media is noisy. That's the whole purpose of his book. And only outstanding content can cut through that noise. You guys know how noisy Facebook is. I'm going to talk about that because that's our main avenue. All right. And if you have outstanding content, it usually follows these 6 rules. And we're going to talk about these 6 today. It's native. It doesn't interrupt. It doesn't make demands often. That means it jabs a lot more than it hooks. It leverages pop culture. You're relating to your audience. It's micro, it's consistent, and self-aware. So now let's kind of break that down. And I'm going to have my book open so I make sure I highlighted some things yesterday. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything as I'm talking to you guys. All right, it was a little bit tricky for me to understand how something's native. Like, he made great points. It's a little tricky for me to understand. So I want to make sure I get everything for you. I understand it now. I had to read it like 2 times, so I understand it. Okay, so it's native. How is something native? I want you to think about the differences between social media avenues. Think of Facebook, think of Twitter, think of Instagram, blogging, even your like page on Facebook. They're all different platforms, right? Something that may work on Twitter is going to flop on Facebook. Something that works on Instagram is going to flop on Blogger or Pinterest. Do you see what I mean? So there's different forms that you can do. You have to make sure that your post style, your text, your graphic fits with the social media platform. All right? Your audience is coming to Facebook to look at something specific. If they wanted to go read people's nasty opinions about Dancing with the Stars, they're going to go to Twitter because they want to hear people's witty hashtags and they want to see people's witty comments about it. If you post that same type of thing on Facebook, that's not what people on Facebook are there to do. Does that make sense? See how if you have to cater your avenue to or not cater your ad, cater your post to your platform. All right. So I want you to think of, TV for a second. Think of how TV has evolved over time. All right. TV commercials weren't effective at first because not everybody had a TV in their house. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody had a radio, so everything was audible. But it wasn't until every person that they were trying to market had a TV in their house that it was able to be successful because they were able to hit more people, okay? So I want you to think about your people that are coming to Facebook. Are they there to buy stuff on Facebook? No, they're not. They're there to be social, all right? They're there for value. They want something that's going to pick them up through the day. They want something that's going to make them laugh. They want to reconnect with their friends. They want to see what their friends are up to. People are nosy on Facebook, okay? That's why they go on there. They're not going on there to be sold to. So that's why whenever I see somebody cringe and they're like, oh, they posted their link. Oh, they're telling people to go browse on their website. Like, that's so not what Facebook is for, okay? It's for people to add value to their lives. That's why they go there. It's not cheesy. It's not obvious, all right? It's not an infomercial. You're not, like Billy Mays endorsed every single product he did, but we're not there to be cheesy. We're not there to sell a product to people constantly, all right? Your post, if it's native, it's engaging. It engages your consumers on an emotional level. That's what I try to do every single morning with my motivational quotes with people, when I share little parts of my story. Because remember, we covered this last week. When you share parts of your story, people aren't thinking of you. They're thinking of them and how they fit in with that story. Remember the story I told you from Bo Eason about how his dad was a cowboy and he had really rough hands. And every summer, his brothers and sisters and him would swim in their pool. And then their dad would come jump in with all of his clothes on after working in the field all day and lassoing cows. And he would come and pick them up by their bare bellies and throw them across the pool. And their dad, they'd go, Dad, your hands are so rough. Stop doing that. And the whole time I was telling that story, you weren't thinking about his dad's hands. You were thinking about your dad's hands. Okay? Your story, when you share it, people don't think about you, sorry. They think about them and how that story relates to them. One of my friends who's a Beachbody coach out here in Seattle, she did a fantastic job breadcrumbing and sharing a story. She jabbed her audience with a story about how her life has changed since Beachbody. And she and I talk a lot, and it was something that we've been trying to share different ideas of how to share our story and how to, did that work? Yes. Can you guys see Facebook up right now? Okay. So here's her story. Okay. And it was all about her kids, because her kids are her why, and her kids are why she can do this. She didn't ask you to buy anything. She didn't ask you to do anything. So my kids love to get the mail. It's like an event in the day that it has always been this way. As an adult, I love getting my mail. And there was one day in my life that opened the mailbox started the worst day of my life. Barron was just over a year old, and I was about 3 months pregnant with Harper. He woke up from his nap, and we put our shoes on and took our time walking to the mailbox. We talked about the weather, jumped in some puddles, and then I let him do the key to open the mailbox. We have key mailboxes out here. I reached in, pulled out the stack, and right on top was a postcard that says, "Congratulations on your pregnancy." I flipped it over to see who it was from and say it was from my clinic. Then I read the message. "Congratulations, you are pregnant and obese. Will you participate in a study for women about obese women facing pregnancy?" Now I was already in shock about my pregnancy and suffering from antepartum depression, unknown to me at the time. I felt like I had just had a baby, and this was so inconsiderate of them to send to me. I was hurt by the word obese. I was crying in front of my son, who stared at me with curiosity. Deep down in my heart, I knew that there was truth in this. I was obese before I had my first child. Something had to change. For the next week, I went through a roller coaster of emotions over that postcard: anger, shame, embarrassment, sadness, loneliness, frustration, and the list goes on. Looking back, that was a huge turning point in my life. At that point, I reached out for help. I could have never gone through a health transformation on my own. No one should ever have to do it alone. Just remember, sometimes the worst day in your life actually brings the best day in your life, because it is when things change. If you feel like you need a change in your life and your health, please reach out to me. If I can do this, you can do this. Do you see how she never asked you to buy a product? But I have chills reading her story, and it's probably because I know her children and I know her personally. But do you see how she breadcrumbed that? Do you see how that is relatable to every single mom who has had a baby? because everybody goes through some time in their life of not feeling comfortable and being reminded of it because some ignorant person tells you, okay? See how that was a perfect breadcrumb and she shared everything about it, all right? That's some way to add value. That was a jab. That was not a hook, okay? Do you see how that works a little bit more? I thought that was a perfect example. Come on, okay. Let's go back to this. Okay. Did you see how that engaged you on an emotional level? It certainly engaged me on an emotional level. She knows her audience. Her audience is moms of kids. She knows her audience, and that's how she created that native content for them. So we had a question come up when I asked you guys what do you want to hear, and one question was, how do I know who I'm talking to? I want you to look at yourself. That is who you're talking to. For me, I'm looking at moms. I'm looking at people who are married. I'm looking maybe at people who move a lot, because I move every 2 to 3 years. I'm looking at people who are professionals looking for a change, as I was, brand new stay-at-home moms who are having a hard time adjusting to stay-at-home mom life because it is hard. So you are your audience. It's not hard. You are your audience. If you're a teacher, you're going to appeal to other teachers. If you are fresh out of college, you're going to appeal to somebody fresh out of college. If you are a hardworking mom, you're going to appeal to other hardworking moms. You are your audience, guys, okay? And also look at your Facebook friends list. You'll see a lot of the majority of the people on there are just like you. They're not going to be, yes, I'm friends with like Matt's grandparents and his aunts and uncles and my aunts and uncles. They're not my audience. They're my family. It's something completely different, okay? Does that make sense a little bit? So native content, this just kind of broke it down a little bit better. Looks and feels like any other content that appears on the platform. So make sure that your content that you're posting on Facebook looks like all the other content on there too. All right, that's what makes it native. You're not posting a Twitter post on your Facebook. It gets lost. We know that. It's not cheesy and it's not obvious. You're jabbing. Vanessa's post was not cheesy. It was not obvious. It jabbed her audience and appealed to them. It has a cool factor. Nobody knows what makes something cool, but I really like a good meme. I really like something that's going to brighten my day. I got lost last night doing our team call on watching some little girl break it down to respect on the stage. I'm sure you guys have seen that video with her little tutu. So like it has a cool factor. It appeals to your audience. It makes you laugh. It hits an emotional center so hard that you want to share it with somebody else. Vanessa's story hit me so hard that I was like, I need to share that on my team call tomorrow. She did a great job. Okay. It hits you to an emotional center that you want to share it with somebody else. And you won't know this for a while. It's going to take you a little bit of time to kind of see what works for your audience. For example, Megan Ewaldson last night on a call I was listening to, she said she does her whole business through her like page. So if you're not already following Megan Ewaldson, I would. She's great to follow. She's out here in Seattle. She's a Northwest coach. She's fantastic. And she did this one video that launched her business forward. It was her doing these moves. She said, I was doing videos on my like page. She was working through P90X3 and she'd just do a snippet of each one of her moves that she did that day in her video. And she's like, and I forgot to do it one day. The kids were crazy. I forgot to do my video, but I wanted to keep consistent. So I wanted to do a video. And she decided to do these video on paper plates, showing people on a hardwood floor or carpet how you can use your paper plates to slide your hands really easily as you're doing push-ups and your feet really easily. And the video went viral. So that told her right away what her audience wanted. They wanted free. They wanted exercise circuit videos that they didn't have to buy something from her from. And it was very clear then. She does these every single day. She has a new circuit video. She just had a baby boy, so she knows her audience, and she did a circuit video on doing squats wearing your baby. So she was wearing Abe, and she was doing bicep curls and all kinds of cool stuff. She knows her audience, and she's able to create native content for them, okay? But it took her a little while to understand that and see. You will know really quick on social media if you've hit this or not. You'll know right away, I promise, because people will tell you if it's bad and people will tell you if it's great, okay? You're going to know right away. Make sure. All right, so let's keep going. So here's an example for Instagram of a native and a non-native post, all right? First of all, think of Instagram. It's all pictures, right? You're scrolling through on your phone, which is what people are mainly doing when they look at social media. They're on their phone. They're scrolling through, and which picture, first and foremost, just looks and appeals to you? This one, right? You're on Instagram. You're there for pictures. You're not there for content. This is very salesy, even though there's no price tag on it. It's from brands. It's like, hey, come check out our latest model. They don't know their audience. They're just pushing a product on Instagram. This is from Burberry. And you know what they did? They told everybody the temperature of the mall outside of London for Burberry. That appeals to their audience. They know their market, all right? Yeah. Guess what? People who follow Burberry in London, they want to know what the temperature is outside the mall. They want to know if they can go. All right. So this is native. It's appealing to their audience. Okay. It's fitting within the context of the Instagram platform. All right. Does that make sense? Does that kind of put it visually in perspective for you a little bit? All right. So our next one, it doesn't interrupt. All right. Think about it. Your jabs need to seamlessly blend in to your social media. All right. It's not going, you don't want it to interrupt someone's social media experience. Think about when you go to a website and an ad pops up and you're like, gosh, just let me get to my BuzzFeed article. And you're constantly searching for like the X button to X out the ad, right? You don't want your post to do that. You don't want to be the post that everybody's searching for the X to cross out of it. You don't want to interrupt their social media experience. Okay. It's like commercials on TV. Think about whenever you could get DVR, you did, right? Because you didn't want to listen to the commercials, you wanted to fast forward. I mute the commercials whenever I had regular cable. No one likes them because they interrupt the show. All right. You don't want your post to interrupt the show on social media. You want it to blend in and add value. Oh gosh, there are typos all over this. So no one likes them because they interrupt the show, the commercials. And if you want to interrupt their entertainment, you have to be their entertainment. You have to put jabs in there that add value. You have to put a meme up there every once in a while. You have to share. You have to be the interruption that they're okay with because you're adding value. You're not annoying. Okay. Does that kind of make sense? And are you kind of like, yeah, I do get annoyed whenever things like that happen to me. And I don't want to be that person. So is that helping a little bit? You don't want your content to interrupt people's viewing or their social media experience. It doesn't make demands often. Okay. That's key. Here's the list he said. He said, make it simple, make it memorable, make it inviting to look at, make it fun to read. He said, make it for your consumer or your audience, not for yourself. All right. He said your content that you're sharing should probably fall into one of these three categories because these are the three most popular categories out there right now. And he said how you can determine that is look at anybody's phone. This is what he said. He's like, if you go to anybody's phone, these are the things you're always going to see. Social network, some form of entertainment, even if they have like a news app on their phone, odds are the most frequently looked at is the entertainment section of the news app, guarantee. And the utility, organization, GPS, workout calculators, time management apps. Think about your phone. Are you like, yeah, it's all over my phone too. Like, those are the types of things you have on your phone. So those are the things you should be posting about. Okay. Social network, entertainment, utility, all those types of things. It's going to help you as you share your story. What is it? I'm looking up, make sure I'm telling you guys the right things. Okay. I actually put a great quote here from him because it was so good. I was like, I can't paraphrase this. I just put it up there. Doesn't make demands often. When you deliver a precise jab with native content, so content that fits within the platform, it might take your consumer a split second before he realizes the story he's paying attention to is being told by a brand, not an individual. Your brand is your business, okay? Yet if your content is great, the realization won't piss him off. Instead, he'll appreciate what you're offering. Because when you jab, you're not selling anything. You're not asking your consumer for a commitment. You're just sharing a moment together. All right? Vanessa was just sharing a moment with us, telling us about when she got that postcard in her mailbox. She wasn't asking us for a commitment. She was just sharing with us. She was relating to us. All right? That was a perfect jab. Okay? She gave us native content. Does that make sense a little bit? I hope this is helpful to you guys. I found this extremely helpful. The emotional connection you build through jabbing pays off on the day you decide to throw in a right hook. When Vanessa posts about in her next challenge group, I guarantee she's going to have people be like, yeah, because I felt like you too when you open your mailbox, and I don't want to feel like that anymore. Do you see how when you emotionally connect with people, it's going to be helpful for them? All right. So think of it this way. He made this great comparison. He said, think about whenever you're little, all right? And every single day you go up to your mom, you're like, Mom, can we go to the store and get some ice cream? She's like, no, we're not doing that today. Like, it was so funny because now I do that to my daughter. It's like, hey, mom, can we go to the store? Mom, can I get this toy? You're constantly asking your parents for something, right? And then all of a sudden you ask them every day. And then one day they're like, yeah, you can have that. You can go to the store. Okay. And it's because at some point through that week or through those days before, you weren't doing anything but asking your mom for that. You were ask. Now give me this instead of giving, and then asking. When your mom said yes to you, she said yes because at some point through the week, you got along with your sibling or you made her life easier. You picked up your room without asking. You did something that made her feel good emotionally. And she was then more willing to give you what you asked for. It's the same thing with your business, guys. If you are jabbing the right way, you, when you throw your right hook, are asking for somebody to make a commitment with you. And they're more willing because you've given them value. You've given them something to go by. You've jabbed them enough that their right hook isn't annoying. It's not offensive. They don't scroll past it. They feel like, yes, I can trust them and I want to be where they are. Okay? So it doesn't make demands often. In other words, you're jabbing a lot more than you're hooking. Okay? Next one, it leverages pop culture. This is how I took this one because I'm not a real big, I like the Kardashians' trashy TV as much as the next person. Like, let's be realistic. But for our business, you kind of have to be careful with posting your political opinion. And I'm more attuned to this just because of our military lifestyle, with posting your political opinions, those types of things. It is your Facebook page. You can post whatever you want. But I'm careful with that because I don't want to offend my audience or make them, whatever, what my beliefs are. But your jabs need to relate to your audience. So if you know that you have a whole bunch of liberals in your audience and you're talking about a whole bunch of conservative topics, guess who's not following you anymore? Does that make sense? You kind of have to leverage it to fit your audience. And he says to use pop culture and those types of things. And you certainly can, for sure. Megan Ewelton used a great example of something, how she kind of leveraged pop culture in her like page one day. She had two things side by side. She was going to a military ball with her husband. And there's like unwritten rules for military balls that you don't wear short dresses, you wear long dresses to military balls, very formal occasions. And she put two dresses side by side, a short dress and a long dress. Little controversy with her audience, which is mainly military wives. And she put it out there and she said, which dress should I wear to this military event that my husband and I have coming up? And her page blew up for days and days and days. People were getting in arguments with each other in the comments, like, no, you can't wear a short dress. Like all these like really old military wives were like, no, you cannot wear it. Don't you wear that short dress? That's not okay. And she's like, I knew I was wearing the short dress already. She's like, but I also knew what my audience wanted to hear and what they wanted to read about, and what was going to be something that was going to engage them with my content. And that was something that was going to engage them. Janelle Summers did something very similar to this, where she said, you have two pairs of running shoes up next to each other, pink and white. And she's like, people will tell you for days whether you should buy the pink pair or the white pair of shoes. Like, people want their opinions to be heard. So you need to leverage your jabs to your audience. Okay. They need to be relating to what they're relating to. Our generations are defined by pop culture. Like, think about like when we were in high school, what the heck were we doing? We were just getting our cell phones. We were probably listening to like iPods a lot. Those were pretty popular then. But you see how like that defined our generation? Okay. Was like the technology craze, everything coming out. And then you look at people like now, kids hanging out, they're all on their phones. Like they're all in a group hanging out, they're all on their phones. So join them. They're on their phones, so that's where our content needs to be. Does that make sense? It needs to be appealing to their mobile device, their laptop, their iPad, all those different things. All right. The biggest thing here that I took from his leverages pop culture is it just needs to relate to your audience. That's pretty much what goes on. And his quote, it says, show your fans, whoever they are, that you love the same things that they do. You love the music they listen to. You love whatever they're going through in their life. Okay. The same way, like if I wanted to market this, Shay Stanford does a great job with this, with Shakeology. Another great coach for you to follow, Shay Stanford. She does this with Shakeology all the time. She says, if I'm talking to a young 22-year-old about Shakeology, I'm not going to tell her the benefits of how it's really going to clear up your constipation, because that 22-year-old is not having constipation problems, I guarantee you. She wants to know about how it's going to make her skin look better. It's going to clear up her skin. It's going to give her more energy. Those are the types of things that are going to appeal to a 22-year-old. She doesn't know if I'm talking to my, grandmother or my mother-in-law, they're going to be more interested, and this is going to give you more energy. This is going to give you the nutrients that it might help lower your cholesterol. You see how she leveraged to her audience. That's what her jabs were like. So if you have your audience is mainly young people, and you want to talk about the benefits of Shakeology in a post, don't share with them that, you're more regular than ever. Share with them the other benefits that you've experienced, things that they're going to relate to. All right. Things like, my skin has cleared up. My hair looks wonderful. My nails are growing like crazy. Those are the types of things that a 22-year-old, 24-year-old want to hear about a product, right? They want something that's going to benefit them right now. That's leveraging your audience and leveraging your jabs to match your audience's needs. Number 5, it's micro. This is kind of weird to me, but it's a great example. He says, don't think of your content as content. Think of it as micro content. These are your jabs, tiny nuggets of unique knowledge that you're able to share with people. He gave a great example of in one of the Super Bowls in the Superdome, the power went out for like 30 minutes on everybody in the stands. And people on social media blew up, right? Everybody in that stadium had a cell phone. Everybody went to their Twitter, Instagram feeds, everybody. And he said that the Oreo company put a great thing right instantly out on Instagram from there. And it said, what did it say? Let's see. It was an Oreo cookie waiting in the dark with an accompanying text that read, "You can still dunk in the dark." All right. Perfect for it. Now, granted, they had a team of social media experts on there in case anything happened to put something there. But it was clear. It related to the audience at that point, what they needed. And it was micro. It was so small. It never sold a product, but I guarantee that every single person bought some Oreos. Okay, who saw that tweet or that Instagram, whatever the platform was, okay? That's fine, Amanda. We'll see you later. So the micro. And it told me here that jab at people all the time, every day. That's what you want to do. Jab, jab, jab. Talk about what they're talking about. When they start talking about something different, talk about that instead. Okay. Oreo didn't try to be like, hey, come buy our product. Everybody was talking about the lights being off the Super Bowl. So that's what they talked about instead. And then you just repeat, you repeat, you repeat. You jab, jab, jab constantly. That's what consistency is in this business. And when you're just starting out, if you're in a slow spell in your business, you need to jab a lot. Okay. So Melanie Mitro, she doesn't have to jab too much. She does great jabs though. So if you want some great jabs to see, go to Melanie Mitro's page. She's great at jabbing. But she doesn't have to jab a whole lot anymore. She's built a trust for her audience. She knows her audience. But when you're still establishing that, you need to jab a lot in the beginning. It's a 24/7 job. That's why when coaches, they always kill me when they say, well, we'll just try this business out. We'll see how it goes for a month. So you can't just try it out for a month. You've got to give it some time because it takes some time to build up those jabs. It takes some time to build up your audience. It takes some time to build up how things are going. All right. If you take a week off of jabbing, it's going to take you 2 weeks to recover. Okay. You constantly have to be jabbing, constantly have to be present in their lives, giving them value. Kind of goes right into our next point with it. It's consistent and self-aware. Your content must always answer the question, who are we or who am I? All right. Your jabs need to share little bits of you. Remember, you have to be the entertainment. Why are people on Facebook? They are nosy. They want to know what's going on in your life. Okay. So give them that. You don't have to be an open book, but breadcrumb your story. Let them see it. Your content needs to answer, is this something that is about me? Is this representing who I am? No matter how you tell your story, your personality and brand identity must remain constant. Okay. I would hope that when somebody would go and see my story, they would see that I'm a mom who has good days and bad days, who struggles, who is independent because my husband's gone a lot, who's able to juggle lots of things. Like, I hope that they see that as my brand, or somebody who wants to be, fit, but then also have a life that I can go out and get Dairy Queen when I want to. So your story, just make sure it's still you. Don't try to be Melanie Mitchell. Don't try to be me. You need to be you, and you need to be unapologetically you, because that's what people want. They want you. And also, your micro content adapts and changes with your audience, all right, which is just pretty much being aware of your audience and as it shifts. And think about, are you adapting and shifting with your audience as well? So here are my call to actions for you guys. Do your posts match your platform? Are your posts on Facebook gearing toward what people are on Facebook to watch and see? Okay, do they match what you're supposed to be doing? Do your posts hit the emotional center and add value to your consumers' lives? Are you jabbing constantly, or are you hooking constantly? I want you to go back through your feed today and just look. Are these jabs? Are these hooks? And I want you to see, you should have more jabs than hooks. So I want you to go back through your feed, and I want you to look at that today. Lead with your consumers' needs and wants. Don't lead with your own. Be consistent, know your brand, and be you. All right. Now, that was just one chapter from this book. And you can see how much information was in one chapter of this book. And I love to use our team calls as a way to share personal development with you guys, because it is something that is so important. This is a fantastic book, especially if you're wondering, what do I post on Facebook? How do I post on Facebook? This is a great way for you to do it, okay? To teach you how to do it the right way. I know that I'm going to go through and do all those call to actions. I'm going to go through and reevaluate my personal page and see if I'm jabbing instead of hooking. Okay. I want you to do the same. Make sure your content is adding value. Don't just put content up there to put content up there. Oh, I need to get my 3 posts and I better put something up there. Make sure it's adding value. I'd rather have 2 really great, valuable posts from you a day than 5 posts that don't add any value, that people just keep scrolling with. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me today about anything? Anything non-related to jabbing and hooking? Was this helpful for you guys? All right, and then would you guys like me to post the slides into the team page as well that you can go back and look at? Okay. Next week, the next chapter in this book is Good Liesel, and the book is fantastic. And I'll tell you what, the book is written in a way that was like, oh yeah, he's really funny. Like, he drops a couple curse words in there every once in a while. I appreciate that as a reader sometimes. And it's just really good. I really enjoyed it. So next week, the next chapter is all about storytelling on Facebook. So it's going to take these principles, and then now it's going to break it down. Okay, now how do I do these 6 principles in Facebook, in Instagram, in Twitter, in Tumblr? So next week we'll dive into Facebook. And he actually gives you like examples in this book of like, oh, a social media flop and a great one, like based on the platform that it's on. So he gives you great examples to go off of. So I want to make sure we're hitting all of that. It'll be really great next week for it. So any questions for me at all about anything coming up, how your months are going, anything? It's great, Deborah. It really, really is. I can't believe I waited this long to read it. It's one of those things. All right, well, if you guys don't have anything else, I'm not going to keep you. It's your Saturday morning. I mean, you'll be with your families and have fun. Go get chores done. That's what our Saturdays normally consist of. Okay, you're very welcome, guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. I know we have a Coach Basics call on Sunday for anybody who can hop on, and that's for anybody on our team. I'll put that in our team page too. I mean, everybody can use refreshers now and again, so I'll put that in our team page as well as our Coach Basics page. All right, so feel free to hop on the call on Sunday. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.